gentlemen, enjoy the precision, feel the speed, listen to the effects, music and video. It's time to mix live. Pioneer DJ presents.
Live from Atlanta, it's the Lucas Chat Podcast.
Systems are offline.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Lucas Chat Podcast. Now streaming on iHeart Radio, Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, and now we are on Deezer, y'all. Yes, indeed. You guys made this possible. Our podcast is now on there for Deezer. Huge accomplishment. Deezer is a huge platform. Over 30,000 channels are streaming there, and about 14 million tracks that's licensed under Deezer. You got streaming platforms and record labels that's also streaming, like Universal Music Group, Sony Music Group, Warner Music Group. So it's a huge accomplishment that K.L.P Entertainment is also on Deezer amongst these other big labels. I've never been so humble before, but I'm very, very humble now and so blessed today. So I bring you guys Lucas Chat Podcast for an interesting topic. Want to get my shout out in all the way. So huge shout to Elyssa Melton. She kind of posted this on her story, and I watched this video, and I text her, I messaged her, and I said, hey, can I use this for the next podcast, and can I give you a shout out because you shared this, and now it's on our table here at Swanky Studios. So Elyssa, if you're listening to this podcast, you are amazing to share this, and I'm very humble, thankful for you sharing this. So now I have something to talk about because this is a huge topic. She played softball, of course. I advocate with GGC Athletics a lot. She played softball. She graduated. She was a good player too. She was amazing. So Elyssa, again, shout out to you. You are amazing, girl. Now, this is a very interesting topic. You've got Sean, I forgot his last name, but he's running for Congress here in, not here in Atlanta, but here in California. And I just want to play this little snippet video for you real quick, y'all.
Orientations and must be inclusive of same-sex relationships. It must teach about gender, gender expression, gender identity, and explore the harms of negative gender stereotypes. But you look at this bill, and more specifically, you look at there's about 13 45-minute lessons where they do not separate boys and girls, and they're teaching this. And they introduce things like anal sex, oral sex for minors. It promotes and encourages exploration and the experimentation with gender identity and sexual orientation. It teaches minors how to give and receive sexual consent. I mean, guys, this is in schools. This is in our schools.
Elementary.
And it encourages students to engage in risky sexual behavior. I mean, this is absolutely asinine. And, you know, I do believe this is a hill that we'll die on. This is why we're running this kind of race. Of course, we're fighting for life. We're fighting for the unborn. We're fighting for the rights of the Constitution. But we're fighting for the future of our kids. Like, we're fighting because I cannot believe in 2019 in our nation, in our country, in District 3 in California, that this is being shoved down our throats.
It's horrible. Absolutely ridiculous.
There you have it, y'all. Just let that serenade for a minute. So I got his last name, Fulch. Hopefully I pronounced his last name right. Sorry about that. He's political candidate to run for U.S. Congress in California in District 3. You guys can support him at support.seanforus.com. And you guys can follow his Instagram as Sean for Congress. He's a cool, swanky dude with the long hair. It's really cool. I like his hair. So what he was talking about is schools are advocating sex. Now, it's appropriate when you advocate sex in high school because a lot of kids, they get that age, they want to experiment. I was at that age in high school. I wanted to experience it myself. But he mentioned that this is talked about in elementary schools. That I agree with him on. We should not and I do repeat, we should not let younger kids know about this kind of thing in grade school. Let's say K through 6th grade. I honestly think they're way too young to understand the concepts of sex. Kids that young should not even be thinking about sex. But as Sean said in 2019, kids are actually thinking about it. I was at I was working a project, and we had to meet up with some kids. And these kids, they're trying to be, to the 2019. There's 2019 dances and, things we do. One kid, and this kind of goes with the point. This kid, he didn't know any better. They're innocent. As Sean says, kids are innocent. They are. They don't know no better. But this kid was doing the grind dance. If you guys know what I'm talking about, it's a grind dance that, you kind of grind your hips a little bit. We all know about that grind dance. And he was doing it. And my other person that was working this project, I looked at him, was like, does he know what he's doing? Like, why is he dancing like that? He shouldn't even know how to grind like that. He should not know anything like that. This kid was about, I want to say maybe in 2nd grade or 3rd grade, I want to say. And this kid was just grinding it up, dancing. And it's not like he wasn't doing the floss or the nay or the, he wasn't doing none of that. He was doing the grind dance. It was clear of what he was doing. That happened here in Georgia. He was doing that dance, and it was weird. And kids should not know how to do that. Kids should not be thinking about sex at this early age. And they're trying to teach this in schools. And in the video, you guys can see it on Sean's Instagram. In 2019, they're making it a requirement for schools to advocate this. Not only in high school, but K through 6th grade. Youngsters. They should not be taught this kind of thing. They should not even know about how to perform such conduct. But this is being talked about in the schools. The schools that, we don't pay California taxes. We pay Georgia taxes here in Atlanta for schools. But kind of the same concept that people are in California, they're paying taxes to schools that are advocating, hey, let's do sex ed at kindergarten. Kindergartners learning about sex. It blows my mind. It really does blow my mind. Kids that young should not know about it. Kids should not know how to perform it. Kids should not know anything about it. They should be thinking about what they want to be when they grow up, or what they're going to do at recess. Kids at that young age should know about that kind of stuff, not about sex. And I agree with Sean on that point. It's really sad that government, they're trying to advocate that, and they're trying to put that in the public school systems. I do agree. You put that in high school. As I mentioned before in the beginning of the podcast, you put that in high school, that's perfectly fine, because kids are at that mature age where, they're about 17, 18. I think it's very needed for people to know about safe sex in high school. High school. Not junior high, not middle school, not elementary school, high school. When they're 11th graders, 12th graders, senior year. They should know about that, because there is a high rate here in America of kids that are that young that are getting pregnant because they don't know how to advocate safe sex. They don't know how to use a condom. They don't know how to just do it safely. You might get some sort of disease. You might get STD, HIV, AIDS. You never know what the other partner might have until you got it. So it's really, I advocate that they learn about that stuff in high school, because a lot of these folks, they're getting pregnant super young. And sadly, it's really sad to say, there is a somewhat of a rate that a lot of kids that are in the highest peak of middle school, they're getting pregnant because they're not advocating safe sex. So that part, I do agree. Kids that at that age should know about that. But trying to advocate that in kindergarten all the way up to 6th grade, that's a huge no-no, I would think. And it's really sad that, again, people are there advocating this. Sean did say in this video that, their kids are in private school, which is great. I went to private school myself. Fortunately, my private school kind of sucked, but they have their kids in private school because they know private school has a certain standard and a certain conduct and sort of ethical behavior when teaching their kids. So it's really cool that if you have your kids in private school, they have a different way of doing things. Now, private school is expensive. I know about it. Private school is expensive, but it's really good to see that they're advocating that in private school. But let me know what you guys think. Do you believe in this project? Do you think that it's wrong? I think it's wrong that kindergartners are learning how to perform safe sex, or learning about sex at that young age. I think it's wrong. It should be illegal, I honestly think, because they're minors. And even Sean said in the video, they're minors. They're teaching minors how to consent with sex. That blows my mind, because she is a minor. It is illegal for this dude, and it could be vice versa too, but it's illegal for a adult to perform sex on a minor. That's super illegal. So why not make this illegal to illegalize teaching minors how to consent when having sex? That should be illegal. That really should be illegal. Should be against the law. Sean, I'm voting for you. I can't really physically vote because I don't live in California, but I'm rooting for you in your campaign because, I agree with you on that point, because, you're teaching minors how to consent in sex. That should be illegal. It really should be illegal. I wanted to bring this up for the Lucas Chat podcast because this is a topic that we really need to be focusing on. We're focusing on the dumb shit. We're focusing on the wrong thing here in America, and we're not focusing on our and I say this portraying the parents, because I don't have any kids, but teaching the kids proper ways of America. We're teaching them the wrong things. And I think we're focusing on the wrong things here in America. We're not focusing on the kids and the future of America, which we are. I'm kind of young myself, but they're not focused on us for the future. They're focusing on what the hell's going on in the world with racism and all that other crazy crap. But we're not focusing on the kids getting taught sex at 5th grade and 4th grade. It's a sad and silly concept to comprehend. I hope you guys comment below. Let me know what you think about this. I think this is wrong. Sean for Congress for California. I'm rooting for him because he really has it out there, and I am rooting for him because this is a thing. This is a topic of conversation that should be brought up here in America. And like I said before, we're saying the wrong things. We're thinking about the wrong things. We're not focusing on the right things that need to be discussed, that needs to be talked about, that needs to be voted in, and making sure the right people can help educate us on the right stuff to focus on here in America. And like I say, we're here in America, we're focusing on the wrong things. And hopefully this change, 2020 is coming up very fast, and we need change. We need a lot of change here in America, because it's silly and it's sad to see kids are getting taught sex education at this young, early age. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the podcast today. Again, shout out to Elyssa Melton. She brought this to my attention. I saw this on her story, and I was able to share it, and I'm giving her a shout out for sure because she showed it to me. Well, I saw it on her Instagram, and it's amazing. So shout out to her. Thank you so much for showing this to us here in the studio, Elyssa. We appreciate that. And stay tuned for later on this podcast week. Of course, we're going to be doing a lot of podcasting, like Grizzly Talk Podcast. That just got released. We just got done filming that about 30 minutes ago. So you guys can listen to that on their streaming platform. And we'll see you guys in the next podcast. You guys stay swanky, and we'll see you guys in the next podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the precision, feel the spectacle, listen to the effects, music and video. It's time to mix live. Pioneer DJ presents
Live from Atlanta, it's the Lucas Chat Podcast.